Welcome back to Alchemical Serenity. Now, if you've just dropped in here and you're thinking, hello, I saw something here about a Victorian walled garden, and you're wondering how you've got here, then first of all, welcome. This is, although it's a pagan podcast about all things witchy, druidy and spiritual, this is just a slight interlude to the usual podcast that I put out, which is on all things spiritual and on perhaps the wheel of the year and working with herbs, working with plants, moon phases, different correspondences, blah, blah, blah. But this is just something different that I decided to do the other day that fits in nicely with all the herbs that we've been talking about recently. And this was a trip that my daughter and I did to a National Trust property. So if you're Britain, you will know all about the National Trust. If you are listening in from anywhere around the globe, you may have heard of the National Trust, and if not, it's the National Trust take on houses that, instead of them going to complete ruin, they protect them, and there's a membership, and for your membership of the National Trust, you get to go in free. And they're open, most of them are open about 6 to 9 months of the year. I'm not going to go into it any further, but that just sort of, just in case you're interested. But they do have some super gardens, and they also have the walled kitchen garden where they would grow their herbs and all their plants, because every single person in the house, from the footman downstairs to the lord of the manor, depending on who was living in the house and how large the houses were, would need feeding. And majority of the food was grown within the kitchen gardens, from melons to simple herbs. So although there aren't any melons available on this one, I did do a little bit showing the garden in spring, and I'll probably go back and do summer and autumn. Winter is very barren, and most of the National Trust properties are closed during winter anyway. But if you're interested in seeing a little bit more of this and how the Victorians ran their gardens, or and how they developed over the season, then just let me know. If it's something that you think, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind walking around those, then I will go and visit a few more. I'm not going to chat all the way through this. I will put a little bit of, there's an explanation that I have to put that will come up in the middle of it, and I'll voice over that. But the rest of it will put to music, and you can just wander through the gardens, and it's not very long. It's about 15 minutes, and just see how the gardens were laid out. And it's a very simple form. There's a lot more to this, to Calke Abbey, than this, and there is the house as well. But just let me know if it's something that interests you, and I'll record some more again. So enjoy the walk through the garden, and I will see you later. So this picture is of a piece of slate that is leaning up in the herb garden area, and it gives some medicinal herbs grown in the late 18th century at Calke, and Calke Abbey is the National Trust property that we were visiting in Derbyshire. So hyssop helps those that are stung by serpents. Ladies' bedstraw, herb or flower bruised and put in the nostrils staves the bleeding. House leek, it eases the headache and distempered heat of the brain in frenzies. Wall germander kills the worms in the belly. Feverfew cleanses the womb, expels the afterbirth, and does a woman all the good she can desire of a herb. And last but not least, ladies' mantle. For such women or maids as have over great flagging breasts, causing them to grow less. Thank you, Nicholas Culpeper, for those wonderful words of wisdom.